Hey there, folks. Welcome back to the Overflow. My name is Micah Curtis.
And I'm Alex Baldwin, the world-famous Hatman. Of course, you knew that.
And for those who do not know, this is the point in time where we answer the questions on the podcast that sadly we were not able to get to. So let's go ahead and get into it. Hatman, I'm actually feeling better than usual today. Sort of. What should we start with? Politics or entertainment?
If you're feeling better than usual, let's kill that good mood with politics.
Oh, goody. All right. So right out of the gate, withheld, rather not say, would say here, can you disprove the Christianity is a white supremacy religion narrative? Yeah, we worship a Jew.
Yeah. That's easy. He's an Aramaic Jew. That's where the religion started.
Yeah, like there are no until Rome, there are no quote unquote white people in the Bible. Everything is in Mesopotamia and Israel and Egypt.
Yep.
So not necessarily white people. It's pretty much all Arabic.
Yeah. Oops.
Yeah. So yeah, like that. On top of that, there's no. How on earth would a peaceful religion that states in part of it go unto all the world and make disciples of all nations? How do you call that white? It's not like it says go into only the white spaces and make disciples. That's not what it says. It's completely contrary to the mantra. What people like to say is that, oh, well, there were these Southern preachers back after the Civil War that tried to say that, you know, there was some sort of theological argument against biracial marriage or things along those lines. Or they'll get really desperate and they'll try to say Hitler was a Christian. No, he wasn't. He was an atheist.
No, he absolutely wasn't.
Yeah, he despised religion. He saw it as a way to manipulate people. He actually, in one of the books about him, he said that if he had replaced the motto of the German military from Gott mit uns, that they would probably rebel against him.
Mm-hmm.
So, no.
Which is also why he tried to get the Pope on his side at the time, too.
Yeah, exactly. But also, what part of the reason why he killed so many Christians during the Night of the Long Knives. So... Also part of the reason why Bonhoeffer tried to kill him.
Truth.
So they're...
But yeah, I mean, like, some of the basic tenets of Christianity are totally antithetical to any sort of supremacist religion.
Yeah. Just because you get people who say they're Catholic and are white supremacists, like Vox Day tries to say he's a Catholic, Nick Fuentes, says he's a Catholic, but the things that they speak are antithesis to Christian belief. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think that Christ would think about a bunch of people going into Charlottesville saying Jews will not replace us? Which, by the way, Nick Fuentes did.
Yeah.
Some people
that's not exactly loving your neighbor as yourself there.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that debunked. Alistair Folgore wants to know, what would you say to someone who has a fear of falling in love, yet is growing tired of the constant loneliness? So you want me to answer my own fucking existence then? Criminy. Am I that transparent? No, in all seriousness though, for me it's just very rare that I meet a woman that I would be interested in dating. Aside from shade party, but that I would be interested in dating, and then by the time I'm ready to make a move, somebody else always snatches them, and I am just left there, just like
that sounds familiar.
Yeah, I'm like, well, you're dating someone though. I'm forever alone over here.
Yeah, after, good God, how long and how much trauma did I go through to get there? But that's the thing. The biggest mistake that any man can make is being too afraid to make a mistake.
Yeah, There's a lot of truth to that.
So go for it.
Yeah.
Do the thing.
Yeah, don't be like me, where, because I'm at a point in my life. I'm 33 years old. I am officially past my prime, and I am in a position where I have this weird thing where, and I have even like scientifically, quote unquote, proved this to one of my friends, where I am attracted to a certain type of woman, but that type of woman is not attracted to me. And vice versa. The type of women that are attracted to me, I am not attracted to. And I will never, ever, ever do desperation dating ever again. So we actually proved it through dating apps.
That's that idea.
So and this is the funny part. So here's how we proved it. Is my buddy's like, all right, I want you to swipe right on these two apps and message the girls you find attractive on this site, and then tell me what happens within a week. Tell me how many messages you got. Guess how many I got. I want to know the honest Hatman guess.
Zip.
Exactly. I got 0. Because the type of woman that I am attracted to is smaller than me, has either a thin or athletic build, and, you know, is generally a more bubbly personality than I am. I've always been the porcupine. You know, I've always been described as having a prickly demeanor, because I get pissed off really easily. So, as if that wasn't obvious. But it's very rare.
Well, online dating is just cancerous anyway.
Well, and that's the other thing. I'm also, like, cursed with, like, anytime I get introduced to someone, it's never the pretty girl who's looking for a good man. Ever. I'm never the person that gets thought of. It's always the fat chick. And it really... I actually went off on my youngest sister about this once, because she almost did this to me. And I'm like... Because she had a friend who was within my range. Basically, the rule is you take half your age and you add 7 to it. If it's younger than that, it's creepy.
Add 7.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, within that range of not creepy, but she's chubby. And I looked at my sister and I said, so wait a minute. When one of your good-looking friends has a bad breakup with her boyfriend, you don't call me. Ever. But when it's this type of girl, I'm the one getting called. And why is that? And I just thought to myself, it's like you always say, you're a good person, Micah. You're a good man. I am a good man. I'm finally at a point in my life where I'm comfortable saying that. But I never get thought of. Ever. Because I have a keg instead of a 6-pack. That's also part of the reason, and this is going to be something that just kind of drives me crazy about our current society, is why it seems so trash to try to emphasize, like, when people who are, try to tell me that we should emphasize character more. I'm like, we don't. Like, bull fucking shit that we do.
No, everything is superficial.
Yeah, it's
the entire point of online dating at this point is literally swipe right or left based on 5 pictures that you see of somebody.
Exactly. Well, and beyond that,
nobody reads descriptions or bios or anything like that. Nobody fucking cares.
Yeah. And the one time that, everybody knows that I was married at one point, her fucking parents hated me. Because I wasn't this douchey looking dude with like the swept over hair and the rich parents and all this other shit who was gonna go and be, a douchey manager somewhere and make a living. I wanted to be a preacher. They didn't like that. And I wasn't gonna give up on that at the time, and they didn't like that either. And that sort of shit is the way our society is. We are still, and this is, I hope I'm not sounding like an SJW when I say this. In some ways, we're still a very classist society. where if you are dating somebody who doesn't look like somebody you should, quote unquote, be dating, you're looked at fucking sideways for it. Here's a really good example. There's a professional wrestler. Hatman, I want you to look him up right now. Because, what is his name?
Prepare for the clackus.
I'm trying to remember his name. His tag team partner is named Tucker. Otis Dojovic. First name spelled Otis. Dojovic spelled Dozovic. And I want you to look at Otis there.
Yes.
So built like me, right?
Okay.
Otis is the short one.
Yeah,
Yeah, he could be my older brother. You know, that, like, just for those who are wondering how I'm built. Look up Otis Dojovic.
Oh,
that's how I'm built.
Kind of looks like you and one of my best friends, like, mashed together.
Yeah, kind of like that. The difference between me and Otis is I have more of, like, a neck. And I'm prettier than this man. But in all seriousness, like, that's how I'm built. I'm built like a human bowling ball. You know, I am a gorilla. That's what and Otis looks like a fucking gorilla. So now that you've seen Otis, Hatman, I want you to look up the name Mandy Rose.
Click-a-clack. Okay.
That's Otis's girlfriend. What is your reaction?
Yeah, they're going to get a lot of side eyes.
Exactly. That's my problem. Is that a guy like me can have a dynamite personality. But if I were to date somebody who is like a fucking 10, like, what's the name of a cosplayer that everyone would know?
I don't know, Jessica Nigri?
Yeah, let's say I dated Jessica Nigri. Everybody would look at me like like she's crazy. You know? Because the expectation in our society is that a woman who is that pretty should be dating slim, douchey-looking dude with the swept-over hair and the six-pack of muscles, you know, that's about like $1.80 soaking wet.
Yeah, something like that.
That's bullshit. I fucking hate that.
It's very much a stay in your lane mentality.
Yeah,
and,
fuck lanes.
I mean, yeah, well, that's the thing. That's what online dating is effectively turned into. I mean, that one study where it's like the bottom 80% of women are competing for like the top 20 or 15% of men. That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Or was it the top 8% of women? I don't even remember. But it was like a huge disparity. It's like if you're a woman on a dating site, you have the option of choice.
Yeah.
You get that. Like that is a luxury afforded to you. If you're a man, nah, fuck you, dog.
Yeah, and let's face this for a second. What do most women want? Security. Dependability. Stability. Those sorts of things. There's a lot of men out there who work hard, will make time for family, and will love you and never let you go, who get passed up for douchey McDoucherton. It's ridiculous. And this is something that, oddly enough, my ex-wife, though crazy and manipulative and abusive, was asked this question in one of her saner moments by one of her friends, who was also very good looking like she was. She said, "Why are you dating a guy like him?" And she goes, "If somebody breaks into my house and your boyfriend is your husband, he's going to run away. If somebody breaks into my house and I'm with my husband's going to rip the other person in half and then go back to bed.
And sleep like a baby.
Exactly. And that is something that a lot of people don't really understand. Like, the things that women want can be attained. You're not going to be dating Fabio. You might be dating an Otis Dojovic. Or Rulon Gardner. Or Mark Henry. But there's dudes out there that are huge people, strong people, who have big hearts that, you know, women don't look at the heart with these people. They just look at the other features. And that is something that has always made me very upset. You know, obviously because it affects me. You know, and maybe some people will think that I'm being some selfish incel, and maybe I sound like one. And maybe I need to relook at this. I don't know. But what I also see is a lot of beautiful women who went for douchey McDoucherton early in life. Now they've got 2 of his kids and he's nowhere to be found.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me that I'm the one who's wrong here, because I don't think I am. You know, I am at a point in my life where I've realized that even if I were to shed all the fat on my body, I'd still be like 310, 320 pounds. I'm prepared to live the rest of my life alone because of that. Because I can't change my size. I can't change how huge I am.
You need to find you a Vanessa. You need to find you a Vanessa.
Vanessa?
Vanessa. If you're going to be the kingpin, you need a Vanessa.
Oh, okay. I had to think about that for a second. But I kind of do, in a lot of ways. All right. Did we answer Alistair's question? I really went off on a tangent there.
Yes. Yes, we did.
Yeah, I was just saying, it's like, yeah, like... I wish I was more like Otis Dojovic with women. We'll just put it that way. So... All right. So this next question from our Dank Horse friend. Somebody read that before we did, and it came across like a Kafkatrap a little bit at first. I don't think that it's quite there, but let's be honest. I think that the way that our Dank friend here, you're sort of setting it up like a Kafkatrap, like there is no actual right answer. So... our answer, I want you to understand that this is not personal, but we're probably going to tear it apart. Because there's a problem with the question. So let's read this off real quick. So it says, regarding YouTube's creator-on-creator harassment rules, you and many others have made it clear that content creators have no direct control over their audience and cannot be held responsible for the actions of said audience. However, a common sentiment among conservatives and classical liberals is that left-wing media outlets are responsible for the rise of Antifa and extension their violent actions by stoking paranoia about the supposed resurgence of fascism. Similarly, when an outlet like Polygon, CNET, or the NYT write a hit piece about someone, it's been an implicit call for that person to be harassed, demonetized, or outright banned. I guess my question is, isn't this a bit of a double standard? Or is there some quality that sets creators apart from media outlets? Not accusing or concern trolling, I'm genuinely curious. So it's not... And that's the Kafkatrap at the end of it, how you say, is there some quality that sets creators apart from media outlets? There is no right answer to that statement. You're going to nail us for either one of them. And maybe you don't mean to, but that's inevitably the way it's going to go. So that's the Kafkatrap. Here is what we are saying. Saying that I look like a human bowling ball. If a left-wing bread tuber got my content and said, he looks like a human bowling ball. He looks like Wilson Fisk's metalhead younger brother who never got out of his edgy phase. Like stuff like that. That's just an insult. That doesn't mean that they're saying, go dox this person. Go do this, go do that. That's not a direct call. When you have Don Lemon on CNN saying, Antifa is good. They fight fascists. When you have Chris Cuomo doing something very similar. When you have Black Lives Matter.
Talcum X.
Talcum X, and others treating this nut job who tried to did a terrorist attack on an ICE facility, when they treat him like a martyr, what does that do?
Well, let's not even treat him like a martyr. They, at least in Talcum X's case, straight up said, this guy did the right thing. We need to be doing this by any means necessary.
Yeah.
I mean, that is out and out endorsement.
Yeah, exactly.
There's tacit endorsement for something, and then there's, outright endorsement.
Yeah.
When you say, all Antifa is doing is fighting fascism, that is still a tacit endorsement. And you're still pulling the wool over people's eyes for the fact that, they are a revolutionary anarcho-communist group, or at least a loose confederation of those groups.
Exactly.
And then you can out and out endorse them by saying, yeah, this guy was right. He was a hero, not a terrorist. We need to liberate these facilities and expropriate the capital of the ruling class by any means necessary. That's a little bit more obvious.
Yeah.
Like when a creator makes a video about someone, take Sargon's videos criticizing Anita Sarkeesian, for example.
Or even let's do a more recent one. Let me say that, like, when I said Jason Aaron is a fucking idiot for wanting his legacy to be politicized.
Okay, there you go.
Like, when he wants his legacy to be politics in comic books, not the good stories he wrote, like Gore the God Butcher.
Right.
I'm not calling for people to do anything to Jason Aaron. I'm criticizing the man, and I'm admittedly being mean.
Yeah,
I will flat out say I am insulting him.
Yeah, but it's still criticism at the end of the day.
Yeah, just not constructive
criticism. You can have criticism that bites, but it's still at the end of the day, like, you are not trying to sick anyone on him. You are not tacitly endorsing that sort of thing. You can say that someone is stupid and something is fucked up without saying that something needs to be destroyed.
Yeah. And that's why we reject the question. Is that it's built on this premise that calling someone a lispy queer is like saying bomb more ICE facilities. They are not equal. Not even close.
Right.
And here's the thing. I know and this is where the empathy comes in. Because I understand why Elric got very angry at me about myself even calling Carlos Maza a lispy queer. He is a gay man. You have to understand something. This isn't about gay versus straight. This isn't about gay versus Christian. This isn't about anything along those lines. It's about the idea of comparing jokes, coarse ones at that, but jokes, to censorship, or comparing insults to calls for increased terrorism. You're comparing apples to nukes. And that is why that we reject the basis of the question. All right, Koopa's Revenge Home asks, do lefties understand Chick-fil-A hires gays and minorities? I'm sorry. I got a little hyped up there, and my medication is like trying to bring my blood pressure back down. So I got a little lightheaded there. I'm sorry. Anyway.
Do you want me to read this one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Do lefties understand that Chick-fil-A hires gays and minorities? I was the only straight white male to apply at my town's Chick-fil-A. I didn't get the job. Do the math.
That's pretty funny. But no, they don't understand that. I think that they're, again, it's a narrative. It's not based on any truth. My favorite article from the Babylon Bee, which I think now is funnier than The Onion.
Oh, yes. By far.
Was gay man bites into Chick-fil-A's chicken sandwich, suddenly becomes straight. It was one of the best mockeries of the Chick-fil-A mania that I've ever seen in my lifetime. One of my favorite quotes from my friend Brian, my favorite gay person, is we were driving along doing the mobile patrol at my old security job, and he goes, and we were talking about the Chick-fil-A controversy, and he's like, yeah, I think that conversion therapy is really screwed up, but goddamn, I love Chick-fil-A. It's delicious. So, yeah, they don't understand that. Oh, excuse me. The one Chick-fil-A I went to, the one Chick-fil-A I went to in Texas was like the friendliest restaurant I've ever gone to. Because it was like completely staffed by Southern black folk. And they were it's like not only were they happy to see you, they were excited to see you. And it was awesome. And they were super nice. And so to the Chick-fil-A in Austin by the Walmart and the Barnes and Noble, if any of you who worked there a couple of years ago are watching this, you're awesome. Thank you for the sandwiches. Goodness.
Wait till these people find out that there's Bible verses all over In-N-Out's packaging. And Psalm, what is it? 118:24, I think, is on cookout milkshake. Yeah, cookout milkshakes.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Guess you can't consume those if you're of the LGBT WTF BBQ, whatever.
Yeah.
That acronym is getting way too damn long now.
We need to make a shirt that just says LGBT WTF BBQ. With just a person looking up at the acronym, very confused.
Just LGBT. Just put the whole LGBT acronym inside like some alphabet soup or something.
Yeah.
Just something dumb like that. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I'm actually liking the umbrella term queer more than anything else now. But even that has some previously negative connotations to it. So.
Well, I know, because it's like, I think of older people just saying, "What are you? Some kind of queer?"
Yes.
God.
Yeah, I'm liking that more and more because, fuck it, it's easier to say.
Well, it just reminds me of the taking it back scene from Clerks 2. So I don't really know if it's the wisest choice. Oh man! All right, we need to move on. Swordsman 100 asks, thoughts on Ted Cruz grilling Google on their censorship of PragerU? Apparently the 10 Commandments video was censored to protect churches. I kid you not. Yeah, that was bullshit. Cruz is leading the fight in a lot of ways against Google censorship. Him and Joshua Hawley are kind of the two front runners there. And I have a feeling more senators are going to get on board. So,
well, the DOJ is already getting on.
Yeah.
So, formal antitrust investigation.
Ooh, when did that come up?
As of today.
Oh, shit.
Today. We are getting a formal antitrust investigation. This gon' be good. Get your popcorn ready, folks.
I only have one thing to say before we move on to the next part. Next question. It's the future you chose. All right. Incel wants to know, thoughts on Berkeley banning gendered municipal words like manhole, fireman, policeman, etc., etc. More commie BS. Yeah, it's pretty stupid. My question is, what are all those dopey, drunk Berkeley students going to call their dicks now? I mean, fireman was the code word back when I was in school. Then again, I went to a Christian school, so
Patriarchy polls. I don't fucking know.
Berkeley's bullshit. All right, Autist Whisperer wants to know.
Yep.
Thoughts on South Korea boycotting anything Japanese over compensation for Korean laborers? This surprises me because Japan has paid reparations. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of animosity between South Korea and Japan for the longest time, and I don't expect it to go anywhere.
Isn't South Korea, like, really, really fucking uncomfortably woke now?
I've heard that, yeah. It won't go anywhere for them.
Yeah. Japan, please stay pure. Please stay pure. God damn it.
Just knock it off with the fucking dragon maids, god damn it. Darth Bobcat, one of our patrons, like jokingly sent me a picture of one of the dragon maids eating a piece of pineapple pizza. I'm like, fuck you.
Oh god, that is incredible. Oh, that is incredible.
Just for that, Bobcat, I am going to make you watch Violence Jack one of these days. Just then we'll be even. But the God, that pizza was seriously bad though.
How the fuck was it? Was it straight up just Hawaiian pizza that you got?
It was, yeah, it was ham and pineapple.
Where did you get it from?
Papa John's.
Okay. Wow.
Because I figured because Papa John's has a sweeter sauce, it wouldn't be as bad.
That's the thing. I like their Hawaiian pizza.
I got
think it's good.
sick. Like I threw
God
up.
bless.
It was that bad. But
Jesus
here's the
Christ.
reason why. My body really does not like the taste and texture of a hot pineapple. Because I love pineapples and I love ham. And oddly enough,
So grilled pineapple.
Well, even one way that I prepare ham is to soak it and cook it with water and pineapples. Because I love how that sweetness gets absorbed into the pork. But something about it being that hot and remaining that hot just really didn't. It just made me lurch. Like I ate 4 slices and I just threw it up the next day.
Jesus Christ. So even like grilled pineapple, you can't do it all.
It doesn't. Hot fruit does not taste good to me. The juices can be used very well to flavor meat, but I could never eat the actual pineapple off of whenever I use it to make ham.
Hot fruit. So you can't eat cobbler?
Well, and that's the weird thing. I can eat cobbler though, like especially peach cobbler. Love me some peach cobbler. Love apple cobbler. Apple pie, stuff like that.
Now, okay, here's the kicker though. Do you eat those with ice cream?
No. Whipped cream.
Very interesting. I was about to say, because ice cream, okay, you got the cold to counteract the heat of the cobbler or the pie there.
I think a lot of it just has to do with those type of fruits, apples, peaches, but I don't like blueberry pie. And like strawberry pie I have to eat cold. It's like berries and pineapples. Something about them, I can't have them when they're warm.
Weird. Because I like grilled pineapple.
Yeah, it's
grilled pineapple on a hamburger is good.
I also think that the mixing of the mozzarella cheese in there too really didn't sit well with me.
That might do it.
I'm actually like feeling weird just thinking, like not feeling good just thinking about it. Like it just doesn't.
Yeah, might be time to move on then.
Yeah, people think that me disliking pineapple pizza is like a meme. No, it literally makes me sick. So, damn you, Raging Golden Eagle.
Fair enough. About to say, just like corn dogs, they make me sick.
Yeah.
But that's a taste version for me because I once got sick eating one when I was a child. So
there you
naturally,
go.
I do the same as an adult.
Yeah. All right. Chris Jones asks, and we alluded to this earlier, thoughts on the terrorist attack on the immigration facility and the usual media silence? Yeah, Antifa needs to be declared a terrorist organization. Enough already.
It's funny how they resisted calling him a terrorist when they did report on it. It's amusing that, you know, a white guy commits an act of terrorism and they refuse to call him a terrorist.
Yeah.
Where's the left? Where's the left? But no, yeah, you declared a fucking terrorist organization already. I posted on Twitter all the lines from the Anti-Fascist Handbook, basically backing up, endorsing, and otherwise just promoting this sort of shit. So it's not just a fringe thing. This is, again, they pull the wool over your eyes to make you think that they are just about fighting Nazis or they're just about opposing fascism. No, they're not. The whole anti-fascist angle is a fucking front.
Yes. All right. Brian Gilmartin says, what influenced your shift from a conservative stance to a libertarian one? What are some of the criticisms you have about conservatism? So, one criticism I have had lately is the national debt. And this is a point that a lot of libertarians have made recently that I completely agree with, is that the national debt is becoming very worrisome.
Mm-hmm.
Because we cut taxes, and tax revenue has gone up because jobs have gone up, but the economy goes up and down. And we're at a point where we can't not cut spending. And nobody's talking, aside from Rand Paul, is talking about cutting spending.
Mm-hmm. Rand Paul and Mike Lee just ate some serious shit because of the whole 9/11 victims fund.
Yeah, and that's generally the problem, is that anytime somebody talks about cutting spending, nobody wants to do it because they're worried they're not going to get reelected.
Mm-hmm.
Because even now more so than ever, there's a swath of people that think government is a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I am of the opinion that we would be much better off if government did not use Social Security or welfare or anything along those lines. I think welfare is what killed the inner city. You know, it is government that is responsible for that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that what we need to do as a society, and this is something that a lot of libertarians I listen to say, we need to break the statist feeling in all of us and allow the private market to come in and allow people to be charitable again and be involved in their communities. Because the more government gets involved, the less we rely on one another. And it's basically done the exact opposite of what people thought it would do. They thought that government would fill in the blanks of where community doesn't and where community fails. It didn't. It made them worse.
Mm-hmm.
And now that the internet is here, it's much easier to be a community. There are people that I have heard of that are wealthy people that just go on GoFundMe and donate to random stuff. Random stuff that people need. Hospital bills, whatever. It's very easy to do. You know, I've donated to quite a few when I didn't have much money to give. But you're also seeing other stuff. I saw an article about this group of men in Los Angeles, because the government sucks at everything and they won't patch the fucking potholes, they're going out at midnight with their own money and their own equipment and they're patching the fucking potholes.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I'm going to echo Eric July here. You're not fooling a libertarian by asking us about the bitch-ass roads. It's and honestly, like, people genuinely think that the roads argument stumps people. Like nobody ever thought, there's a rough spot between me and my destination. Maybe I should build a fucking flat patch. Nope, I need government for this. Can't do it. Can't do it. Fuck the roads. Fuck them.
Fuck the roads.
Fuck them.
I'm now tempted to attribute this episode to Eric and call it bitch ass roads.
Oh my god. Do we I don't think we could sell a shirt that says "fuck the roads," but that would be funny if we could.
Well, no, if Eric ever watches this, and people, this is not harassment. Tweet Eric July to watch this. Eric, you need to seriously make a shirt that is just "fuck them roads." Seriously, we can hook you up with somebody who can design it for you. Just promise us you'll pay him well. Because seriously, have you ever seen his roads rant?
No, I haven't. I know the argument.
It is a thing of beauty.
No, I've not heard his rant.
It is a thing of beauty. It is a beautiful rant because it really is all the fucking time. Anytime Libertarian goes, what about the roads? Like nobody ever thought of that. I live in Illinois.
Like the
folks.
Government is the only thing that maintains anything.
Yeah, it's like, folks, I live in Illinois. Our roads suck ass, and we have a huge government. The only good roads in Illinois are downtown Chicago. Only good roads. Because that's where all the money's made. All right. Let's get to entertainment.
Yay, entertainment. I like entertainment.
Me too. We will save Dankor's Elric's question for the last one. Brian Gilmartin asks, what are our thoughts on Stranger Things Season 3? I have not heard good things about Stranger Things Season 3. I heard from Cal Jameson that there's an entire episode dedicated to someone coming out of the closet. I'm like, I'm not here for gay people. I'm here for the Upside Down. I'm here for the Not Stephen King Spookfest.
I have not watched Stranger Things. I don't particularly care to watch Stranger Things. I have no opinion on Stranger Things Season 3.
First season was really good. Second season was just kind of okay.
But...
Okay. Nick White says, asked this before, but have you guys played the Gears 5 tech test yet? Also, thanks for answering my Gears question from last week. Nick, you can ask me all the Gears questions you want, buddy. I will answer as many as you like. I will probably do... I need a Things I Love break from like anime and shit. I will probably do a Things I Love Gears of War. Because that...
There you go.
There's a lot of memories there with that series and me. And two of my best friends, Ben and Josh. So...
Yeah. I've got some good memories of playing as Dom. Co-op Gears, man. That's where it's at.
Well, your internet, I know your upload is has at least persisted a little bit, but is your download really so bad that we couldn't play it?
It's trash. I tried playing Warzone Halo 5. Actually, I tried playing Warzone Halo 5. It was so damn choppy. I tried just going into Forge, since you still need a connection for that. That was choppy too.
I wonder what it would be like if I hosted, if that would even make a difference.
I don't think that it will.
We'll test it sometime.
I don't. Yeah, we can test it, of course, but I don't have any high hopes.
Yeah, because that's one I think you and I definitely need to play. But anyway,
yes,
yeah, I have not played the tech test yet. I don't think I'm going to. I'm just going to wait till the game comes out.
I think I will too.
I'm looking forward to it.
Only because,
when does it come out?
October, I think.
I want to say it was October as well. September. Shit.
September. Oh, that's
September
even better.
10th. And then Doom Eternal comes out in November. So, what am I going to do in October?
Play lots of Gears.
No, we'll be shipping Englewood that month. But
that's right, we will.
We'll be shipping Englewood, and you guys will see what else is going on October. Let's just say you're going to like it.
Let's just say that Halloween will not end.
No. And to get people prepared for it, I want you guys to find the album Serpents Unleashed by the band Skeleton Witch. Listen to the 3rd track. It'll tell you everything. So, all right. Thoughts on the game journey? Oh, wait, hold on. Thoughts on Andrei Doronichev comments responding to Stadia possibly failing. It gives the impression he expects it to fail from Incel Mafioso. So I don't think that the problem with the Stadia is you're paying for this monthly subscription for this game console and playing online games, and yet there's no. Then you have to buy the game too, and it's a streaming service. Yeah. It's not. I don't get a physical copy of the game. If it was like the Nintendo Switch, where I could have a game and a physical copy of the game, and that license transferred to the Stadia, and I could take that console or that game wherever I want and just play off the Wi-Fi, that would be a different story.
Yeah. I mean, Stadia, honestly, it kind of fails in comparison to the Switch. Whereas the Switch, you can play it anywhere. You want to dock it? Okay, you can play it on a big TV. You want to take it wherever you want? Okay, you can take it wherever you want. You don't need a continuous internet connection. You don't need an internet connection of a certain speed. You still have to buy the fucking games for it. I mean, Stadia is just jumping through too many hoops to get a similar experience, and the only bonus it has is, well, you can play wherever you want on whatever screen you want. Okay, but why? At that point, why? There's no kind of boom to it. And they said like they'll be giving out one free game every month. You're already running behind PlayStation Network and fucking Xbox Live on that one. They give out 4.
There you go. Let's say PlayStation Network. I get 2 free games every month.
I mean, the least they could do is offer some kind of like description, and I think they sort of have something like that, but not really.
No, it's just not. It's not ready for
Game Pass is a godsend.
Yeah, Game Pass is amazing. One thing, by the way, right now the PlayStation free game is Detroit Become Not Robot.
I need to get it.
Do it right now. Well, not right now, but definitely do it, because it's a surprisingly entertaining game for as goofy as it is. But you can basically have your lead robot. He can be either basically John Locke or fucking Mao. And that's kind of the fun of it. So, all right. Withheld Rather Not Say asks, have I ever heard of Elric of Melniboné? Yes. I've read a couple of the graphic novels. I actually credit Razor Fist for having read them. Did not read any of the old pulp stuff just because I don't have the time. But I might at some point. He's an interesting character. I think that the graphic novels flesh him out a little bit better in backstory, so he feels less like albino Conan.
Isn't he a dank horse?
Oh, goodness. Let's see here. Autist Whisperer wants to know, thoughts on the game journal getting triggered over the cleavage-bearing cover for Shadow Attitude. He got dunked hard by women and not in a good way. So, I did not hear about this.
I haven't either, but my God. Why is it that game journos are getting triggered over cleavage and too much booty now?
I don't know. And that's... Uh-oh.
Whoa. Was that a sneeze, or
Yes.
did you just die for a moment?
No, that was a sneeze. I sneeze like a cartoon character.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
No shit. But anyway, I kind of wonder if this is for real, like if they actually get triggered, or if this is just performative outrage, and they have very, very active Pornhub accounts. Willing to bet from the clock, which will probably reset in the next day or so, it's the latter.
Yeah. I mean, you look at it. It almost always seems like projection, because there was the British
Almost, yeah.
the British politician who wanted gender neutral everything gets busted for kiddie porn. Then you've got this trans, quote unquote, feels like a trans trender who is trying to sue people for not waxing his balls.
Oh yeah, I heard about
I'm
that
saying
one.
his. I'm not going to say her on this one because this feels like a trans trender.
Yeah, it really does.
His idea of fun was to host an LGBTQ 14 and up topless swim party. No parents. That's a sexual predator.
Somebody get Chris Hansen on the line.
Somebody get the NRA on the line. Good Lord. But anyway, yeah, they always project. Always. And that is generally a big feeling. Because there's the funny thing about it is like the people that will dunk on these dudes are women who consider themselves feminists. Because what are the feminists going to say? How dare you make me ashamed of my own body? Which they should say that. There's nothing wrong with being chesty at all. You know? And I don't think that anybody should ever be shamed for that sort of thing. It's always these game journalists who think that this attitude's going to get them laid, that somehow think that you know, like, again, that's going to get them laid, and it's not going to. Hatman,
Nope.
let's see, you got really quiet there.
Nah. I kind of wonder if they just lack the proper social skills to interact with women beyond tripping over themselves to try and be a better ally than the next man, and still, I guess, acting more like incels than they're willing to admit. I can't help but wonder if they've ever seen a vagina in real life. And if they did, would they know how to react to it?
Without raping it.
I mean, that's just a given. You don't rape. Actually, thinking about it, I guess it is kind of projection when they say, teach men not to rape.
It's like they're begging to have that taught to them.
They don't know. They don't know any better.
I guess not. Okay, Ugly Media 2 says, I want to write a comic book and I think I want to crowdfund it like Englewood, but I want what would I need to do this because I've never done this before? Make friends.
Make friends, have a story, have characters, have a pitch, log line. Pick
Pitch it
that
to the
one
right
up
people.
from Sunday.
Pitch it
Yes.
to the right people and make sure you have very catchy looking art.
Yes. Pay for it.
Yeah.
Just pay somebody to do some concept work for you, and then use that.
Yeah, prepare to invest your own money. Because you're going to have to invest to make any money off of it.
Yeah.
And from there, and beyond that, just share it everywhere. And be good to the people that you like. You know, and be good to your customers. So, because Hatman pointed this out to me before we got started. Englewood is at what, $5,100? $5,100
As of
something.
right now, yep. So yeah, about $5,100.
We have had 0 permanent refunds. We're I'd like to think we're
Yep.
very good to the audience.
Yep, we've had I believe, 3 refunded transactions, and everyone who got a refund did so they could pledge to a higher tier. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah. But that's because we're good to the fans. Even when we if there is a life disagreement, we still want you to enjoy the comic, because that's what we're here to do. You know, like on the Overflow, we're here to answer political and entertainment questions, obviously. I don't really consider myself a YouTuber first anymore. I consider myself a comic book writer first now. And as such, my job is to sell you comics. You know, so at the end of the day, everything that I have said in this episode of the Overflow, if you disagree with it, okay. I'm not going to get mad at you, because I want to sell you a comic book. That's what's most important at the end of the day. Because that is the way I would like to make my living forever. Or at least until I croak.
Be nice.
Yeah, we'll get there. Gonna take time.
Time and effort.
I have a feeling when people read Englewood, because what you got now is art and concept. When you guys read it, when you get into the real meat and potatoes of it, I have a feeling everybody's going to be like, exactly like you were, and Brian was, and Armand was when you all first read the script. I'm going to hear 2 words. Holy shit. I don't brag about much, but I am very, 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 very good at what I do.
You don't mean to toot your own horn, but toot fucking
toot. Yeah. All right. Dan Coerce Elric asks our last question of the episode. At what point does taking inspiration from another source become plagiarism? For instance, Aragon and the Sword of Shannara are beat-for-beat retellings of Star Wars and Lord of the Rings, respectively. The world of Dragon Age borrows heavily from Warhammer Fantasy. 50 Shades is literally a Twilight fanfic, yet I've never heard any of these accused of plagiarism. Meanwhile, I've heard others, i.e. not Razor Fist, accuse The Witcher of plagiarizing Elric of Melniboné due to similarities in the main characters. As an aspiring writer myself, I'm a bit paranoid about the subject. I figured, with the both of you being professionals, that you'd be more knowledgeable, have some useful advice. So, I will say this.
God.
I think calling Aragon and Sword of Shannara ripoffs or plagiarism is too far. Dragon Age, I don't think it borrows that heavy from Warhammer Fantasy. I think it borrows more from Lord of the Rings. 50 Shades, I wouldn't call it a Twilight fanfic from what I know of it.
It is. No,
Is
it is literally a Twilight fanfic.
Okay,
yes.
then let's discount that one.
It was, well, yeah, it was born out of a Twilight fanfic. It was basically that, and then readjusted so it could sort of stand on its own. Yeah, the author admitted this.
Oh, okay. So let's discount that one. But
yeah,
they're different enough to not be full on plagiarism. They might hit.
Yeah,
Here's the thing. There's a difference between something having a similar foundation and something being beat for beat the exact same fucking thing. And that's also where Elric of Melniboné falls apart from The Witcher.
Mm-hmm.
Is they look very similar in character, absolutely. The differences in their backstories, the differences in the way the world is built, and things along those lines, and the topics that it touches, I think separate it enough to where one is different from the other, though obviously very similar. One major thing I would say is you can see Elric going straight evil. You couldn't see Geralt doing that.
Mm-hmm.
There's differences in the character. But like, let's go. I know more about Dragon Age than anything else. Dragon Age is basically death metal Lord of the Rings, as if written by Joss Whedon. Or at least the first game is. And the second game, 2 degrees. The third game is considerably lighter. But that's basically what it is. But those are foundational aspects. When you start getting into that's the macro. Once you start getting into for those who don't know, macro, big, micro, small. So when you start getting into the micro, you start realizing that the little pieces of it that come together take some inspiration from elements of Lord of the Rings, but differentiate itself enough to where it feels very differently. For example, the Darkspawn and the Orcs. Different origins, though they both come from deep subterranean areas. The way that they affect the world around them, very different. The Orcs are supposed to be kind of symbolic of, and the Uruk-hai are supposed to be kind of symbolic of certain elements. The Darkspawn really aren't. You know, they're not really, you know, they don't really remind you of anything. They're just freaky looking and freaky in their concept. They're meant to be horror monsters in the way that they are presented. So, not to mention the way magic behaves is very different. And the way magicians are treated is very different in Dragon Age. So when you start, as you can see, I'm pulling the little micro bits and I'm comparing them 1-to-1. Apples to apples. Obviously one apple is red delicious, the other one is golden something or other. You know, they don't taste the same even though they're apples. And when you really start to differentiate it, Lord of the Rings is just high fantasy, Dragon Age is dark fantasy. It's the dark, mature nastiness of the Dragon Age universe that sets it apart from Lord of the Rings, even though it heavily takes a lot from that. And pulls from Warhammer Fantasy as well. But Warhammer Fantasy is also similar in the way that it, you know, you start comparing it 1-to-1 with Lord of the Rings, you're going to start seeing some similarities, but you're going to see a lot more differences. So, like, for example, Warhammer Fantasy has a lot more races that are involved. It's also completely and totally inferior to 40K. Just saying. In fact, again, this is my big criticism of Warhammer Fantasy. Why do all the humans look stupid? Renaissance armor and Renaissance looks are gay. Very gay. Because all the Renaissance was a bunch of people running around painting and being gay and killing each other over politics. And I'm being, obviously, I'm joking here. But those designs do not lend themselves well to dark fantasy. That is something that I actually think, why I am more interested in the Dragon Age universe than I am Warhammer Fantasy. Warhammer Fantasy has good creature design, but hero design is trash. Trash tier. Hero design in 40K, fucking epic. Did that really answer the question? I don't know if it answered the question.
Not really. Let me take a crack at this too. A lot of these follow the monomyth. Aragon, Star Wars, they follow the monomyth. Joseph Campbell, Hero with 1,000 Faces, you know, that has influenced a ton of literature. And when you see, like, you know, beat for beat, this has got the old wizard companion that follows him, mentors the protagonist, and then dies at some point during the story. Oh, you have the damsel in distress that needs to be captured. You know, the great journey and then the return back home with something gained. That's part of that monomyth. That is... What's the other one? There's only like 7 stories. I can't remember who wrote that one. It's like the seven types of stories. The adventure, Rags to Riches, the comedy, the tragedy. I'm gonna forget the rest of them, but fuck it, y'all know what I'm talking about if you study this sort of shit. A lot of those are going to be like beat for beat for beat, found across multiple fucking stories. Don't be afraid of hitting those beats. You know, you can still strive to make something original, but if you find inspiration in, I don't know, say Star Wars, consider looking at the source. You know, how did George Lucas write this? You know, what did C.S. Lewis pull from when writing the Chronicles of Narnia? You know, what was he inspired by? Consider that and pull from that if you can, if you want to. But just know that those sorts of stories, in the end, like, a lot of them are similar, and they're not rip-offs of one another. They follow certain story structures that are more or less tried and true. I mean, that's why they've lasted for so long. God damn it. It's not a rip-off if you say you're just following a formula works.
There we go. One thing I will say is probably one of the most deceptive tricks that internet critics do is they'll take two similar foundations and say that those two foundations make one thing a ripoff of another.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And they give you very generic terms. Like, person goes to, like, well, The Hero with a Thousand Faces is the perfect example. They'll quote The Hero with a Thousand Faces and say because two stories are similar in that way, one is a ripoff of the other. That's bullshit. So, figured I'd throw that out there. There's always been something that annoyed me. Alright. Ugh. I'm all ranted out.
Yep, I think I am too.
Seriously though, fuck them roads.
Oh, that'll end up being the title of this episode.
Well, not really. I'm gonna just call it my roads, but because that's my favorite Libertarian comic ever. Have you ever seen that one?
No, I have not. But I feel like I'm about to.
Oh my god, yes. Let me see if I can find it.
Although, just searching for it on Google, I did come up with, but without government, who would ignore the potholes?
Yes, it's the first one you come up with though. Dad, I'm Libertarian. Oh no, my roads. Where are my roads? I will always love that one.
Oh my god.
There's a lot of really good ones though. It's like one of the most complex machines in human history, built by hundreds of companies, easy to repair in your own garage. A flat thing, far too complicated for anyone to try without the magic of government. Yeah, absolutely. All right, we are going to go ahead and take off because I am all hyped out. I will say this. To whoever sent me the download code for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, thank you. I haven't played much of it, but dear God, is it fun so far. Hatman will have to catch up with me on that one.
Believe I will.
Alrighty, folks. We're going to go ahead and take off. Don't forget to back Englewood if you have not done so already. Link will be in the description of the Mabob. So, on top of that, now we really want to thank everybody again for donating to help us get to ICMI. Very much looking forward to getting to do that in August for sure. So, should be fun, to say the least. We're going to go ahead and take off, though. My name is Micah Curtis, your favorite vanilla gorilla.
And I'm Alex Baldwin, and you know my name.
Yes. We'll see you guys next week. Dave's Fault.
Dave's Fault.